Welcome as we continue our study of Colossians and chapter 4, verse 11. And Jesus, the one being called Justus, those being of the circumcision, greet you. These only fellow workers for the kingdom of God who became a comfort to me. So, first thing is that greets is actually not in here. That is in verse 12. And we'll look at this when we get to verse 12. But just something to remember that the Greek text, they didn't have verses, they didn't have punctuation. The whole letter was one giant run-on sentence, and so the translators did their best to break this up into verses by thought. But that the greet you could have easily gone with this versus verse 12. Possibly both, but I don't think it's both just because uh, it's in the singular. So that could imply that it is really in it goes with verse 12. And then let's see, we do see it again. We see it also in verse 10. So I don't know. It's interesting. I think they just implied it here, but it's really not in there. Um, but I think in the context you could probably apply it to the verse. Fellow workers is sunageros, and so that soon is with, and ergon is work, so with work. And then comfort is paragoria, which is para, which is near, and agora, which is like it's a gathering, and it's really a general term for a gathering. But it could have been an election or a debate, town square, um, or a marketplace. And Thayer actually adds some more to that if we were to look at it. It's interesting. It's only used one time. So is it comfort? Good question. I would say at a minimum you can say that there's certainly some conversation occurring there. That it is a gathering near him, and so maybe that's where comfort comes from. That they're becoming companions with him in that way. But again, because it's only used one time, it is hard to come to a conclusion on that.